Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be my thoughts on the upcoming 4K from 88 films of the 1980 masterpiece Zombie Holocaust. Unfortunately, the release date for Zombie Holocaust has been put back till the 11th of September, but I have here the original Blu-ray from the Italian collection from 88. I'm not too sure if this one's out of print. This is spine number 5 from the Italian collection, but I also have to show you as well the Severin release of Zombie Holocaust, but it's got another cut called Dr. Butcher MD, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the original 88 Zombie Holocaust I bought here from HMV. I don't know if you can see that, but I bought it for $8.99, and I think the receipt is the 28th of the 7th, 2015. It's kind of all washed up now, but I also got these ones on release. So this movie is one of my favorite zombie movies. And when it was announced way back in the day, I thought I've got to get this one. I did used to have this on a US Blu Ray, which was pretty hopeless actually, if I'm honest. And this one here was a leap up. It says on the back here, now I'm going to have to get my spectacles for this. Nurse, specs, cheers. So this one here was a brand new HD master from the original camera negative, restored and graded at Pinewood Studios post-production in 2015. Now, when I've checked this out, I must admit it's not the best of qualities. When I look at it now, I think that I always thought that this was a bit problematic. And when I was thinking about this movie coming out in 4K, I thought it's not one of the ones that I thought would look too good. Now, if you remember Burial Ground, when I was talking about that, it looked pretty good, and that was a 16mm. Now, this one was shot in 35mm. Now, when it says here, from the original camera negative. Now, the one on the 88 4K is different, and I'll talk about that later on. But first, we'll go through this one. So, when you originally got this movie, you did get an alternative cover, and you got this card and also a booklet. Used to get these when it first came out, and then kind of dropped them, which is a bit of a shame. And you do get this booklet here. It talks about the transfer here. Zombie Holocaust was transferred in HD from the original negative in Italy to DPX files. These were shipped on hard drive to Pinewood Studios where they were conformed. The overcut splices were removed, graded, stabilized, and extensive automated and hand clean was performed. No noise reduction was performed at any stage of this process. Well, that would be kind of DNR, I think. The English and Italian audio was transferred to 24-bit .wave file and synced up at Pinewood. H.264 compression was at a constant bit rate of 35 megabytes per second to achieve optimal quality. We hope you enjoy. Never heard so much talking about that type of movie. This has got a booklet here. It's written by Callum Waddell. I don't know if you know him. He's on Instagram if you want to chat with him. And this is a great movie. Now, this movie was filmed exactly at the same time as Zombie Flesh Eaters. This here, if you remember the scene from the church, I think it was a church at the end of Zombie Flesh Eaters. This is the same set, and I think a lot of the same sets were used at the same time as when they filmed Zombie Flesh Eaters. So that's a bit quite interesting. Now, what I think is going to happen with this new version from 88, I would imagine they're going to go to a different source, because when I talk about the source that they got for where they got the 4K from, it's a different source, and I'll tell you about that now. 4K restoration from the original 2-perf Technoscope negative 4K. Ultra HD Blu-ray presented in Dolby Vision compatible, HDR10 compatible. So that sounds like quite an upgrade. Now, when I say quite an upgrade, the original 2-perf Technoscope negative, to me, it's a 35mm negative. Now, if they can get a hold of that, and if it's Technoscope or Technicolor, if that's the same thing, which it probably isn't, I don't know too much about these things. I'm thinking that this one will definitely look better than this, because this looks quite average, if I'm honest. Now, the reason why this has been put back, I think, is because there's a lot more work to do on this movie than originally thought. Comparing the picture quality on this one to the US Severin disc. This one is much better. Now, weirdly enough, this has presented in here, as you can see, it has this here, which is a sick bag, which you could have with the first 5,000 copies. I don't know if this is in print anymore, and I'm thinking it's I don't know if anybody has ever used this on this film. I don't think so, but I thought it was a really nice touch to get one of these sick bags. And so this movie, this edition here, has both cuts of this movie. Now, this is a strange one. This one here is the same cut as the 88 one, but the credits are in a different color. The 88 one is red font, and the lettering in here is white, which is a bit strange. I don't know why. Is it unless they've got two different sources? This source here, it's region free, this disc, if you want to pick it up. This one here has got much better color. It's much sharper, and also there's a lot of flecks on both of them. But the flecks on here, like white sort of like speckles on the pictures, isn't that much. There's quite a lot of them on the 88 film one. Now, I don't think they're going to go back to the original negatives that they've got from there, I think. And that was done in 2016, that restoration. So I think they've got, oh, here's the rain. I think they've got another, wow, it is raining as well. I think they've got another version of something from somewhere, and they're going to tidy it up a bit more. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get a bit of a better upgrade on this one than I did really on Burial Ground, which was still good, but I thought it wasn't too much of a difference. I'm hoping this one is going to be a bit more, but I don't want to hope too much, because when you do that, you're heading for a fall, aren't you? So anyway, I also put this one on as well. Now, the start of this movie, Dr. Butcher MD, which is kind of like a recut version of this movie. I think it's about 1 minute short. It's not cut. It's just rejigged. What they've got on here, they've got a new start. There's a kind of this start that's like thrown on, which doesn't have anything to do with this movie. Actually, it's from a different movie where it doesn't really make any sense to have it in this movie, but they put it in. But it does look really super grindhouse when you watch it. It just got like it's got a feeling about it. Now, I think that this movie is a great movie. The Dr. Busher MD cut, I wouldn't say it's the best way to go. I was hoping that on the 88 version they would put the Dr. Butcher MD cut on it, but they don't, unfortunately. I thought that'd be a great little extra to throw on. Talking about it, I'll talk about extras in a minute. But this version here, if you want the best version on Blu-ray at the moment, wow, it is raining. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's, yep, monsoon. This one here is the best one to go for in my eyes. And you do get an extra, you do get a flippable cover as well. When this came out in video, it was a Section 2 video nasties. Speaking of which, the second part of the Section 2 Video Nasties live stream with Nige is going to happen, if you're seeing this Monday, it's going to happen on Tuesday night. So I'll leave a link down below to that video live stream, which is coming up. It's great. I'm filming this on Sunday, actually. So anyway, let's get to extras. Now, on this one here, it's got a couple of extras which are ported over, and I'll tell you what they are. So the extras on the new disc, interview with Alberto Moriani and Enzo G. Castellari, Our Life, Our Music, an interview with Giancomo and Eda Del Orso, To Die and Rise in Rome, an interview with Marcello Avallone. Those are new ones. Eaten Alive, The Rise and Fall of the Italian Cannibal Film. Now, this is about an hour and a half. It's a brilliant documentary that's on the old one as well. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy that they've got that over. A Q&A with Ian McCulloch at the Manchester Festival of Fantastic Films 2009, which is on there as well. A restoration reel and a theatrical trailer. Now, this version is packed with extras, and I'll try and read them out for you. On Dr. Butcher MD, you get Butchery and Ballyhoo, interview with Terry Levine, Down in the Juice nostalgic tour of 42nd Street, Tales That Will Tear Your Heart Out, Roy Frumsk, segment of unfinished anthology film. Now that he is the one who was at the start of this movie that's just been shoehorned in. I tell him a mile off actually. The Butcher Mobile, interview with Go Gazette editor and Butcher Mobile Barker, Rick Sullivan. Cutting Dr. Butcher, interview with editor Jim Markovic, illustrated essay, Experiments in a Male Caucasian Brain, and Other Memories of 42nd Street by Jerry Hertz. Theatrical trailer and video trailers. And on the Zombie Holocaust disc, you get Voodoo Man interview with star Ian McCulloch, Blood of the Zombies interview with FX master Rizzero Prestopino, Neurosurgery Italian Style interview with FX artist Maurizio Trani, filmmaker Enzo G. Castorelli remembers his father, director Marino Gerami, interview with actress Cheryl Buchanan, New York locations then and now, a look at the Big Apple locales as they are today. Ian McCulloch sings Down by the River. This is brilliant. I totally forgot this was on here. Now I'm going to link down below that song that Ian McCulloch released as a single in 1964. Can you believe it? I didn't even know he had any form of singing career, which he must have done. And theatrical trailers. Yeah, so do go and check that song out. It's quite good actually. It's not bad at all. He's got quite a good voice. I shouldn't have took my glasses off. I can't see the screen. So, thoughts on this movie? I love this movie. It's one of those really good throwback Italian like zombie horrors that is right up there with Burial Ground and Zombie Flesh Eaters. So if you like Zombie Flesh Eaters, you're halfway there. Now the difference that Zombie Holocaust has got is that there's a mad doctor on this island, and he performs all this surgery on these people who come to the island as well. And he's got this horde of zombies like working for him as well, which is quite absolutely preposterous, but so good in the same instant. Yes, it is so good, it's so bad. It's one of those movies. It's the type of movie that I really enjoy. Now, the best thing about 88 doing these 4Ks is, especially these older ones, which look, to be honest, they don't look too good, if they do them right, they will bring them like to the next level. This movie is ultra low budget. I mean, it's kind of copying of a low budget movie, which is Zombie Flesh Eaters, which I do think is quite a spectacular movie when you sit down and watch it properly. But I'm really hoping with this one getting put back in a couple of months, we're going to do some extra work on it, and they can get this movie to look pretty much sensational. They've got all the elements there that the negative they're going for, and in fact it's in 35mm, not 16mm, it kind of does say that they could, fingers crossed, they could make this movie look something like most of the other ones don't. So it's always good to see when you see a 35mm print talked about. So you know there is a good elements there if they've got them and they're good enough. I do personally think they're kind of sort of making those prints work for them at this point. Really looking forward to this. Hope this has helped your thoughts on this movie. If you're thinking about picking it up, or you're wondering why it's been put back a bit, or you want to know what's kind of there and what's coming onto it, don't forget you're getting that feature-length documentary about Italian cannibal films, so that's worth it in itself. So don't forget to check that Video Nasty live stream, and I just can't wait to do that. So thanks for watching. You take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.